Hello there, good morning to you. Welcome to Newsroom here on GHOne Television. My name is Lantam, Papanko. Let's take a look at the headlines. And coming up in the bulletin today, Finance Ministry directs Nation Builders Corps trainees to presidency over 9 months of unpaid arrears. We'll touch base with the trainees on what they intend to do moving forward. And also coming up in the bulletin, public health analyst questions the basis for calls by the Registered Nurses and Midwives Association to scrap diploma and certificate nursing courses across the various health training institutions. And also ahead in the bulletin, the Auditor General indicts the University of Ghana Medical Center in a 2003 report over a 431,150 Ghana cedi patient waiver or discounts. And also flights delayed and others cancelled, banking and healthcare services disrupted in global IT doomsday. We've got details of all of these stories and more making the Newsroom Bulletin this morning. Do stay tuned. Thank you very much once again for joining us. The bulletin is streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. We are also on your free-to-air channel. Connect with us on our social media pages and let's get interactive. The Finance Ministry, in response to a petition from the Nation Builders Corps NAPCO trainees regarding the unpaid arrears for the past 9 months, has been that they should go to the Finance Ministry. The ministry clarified that since the program falls directly under the office of the President, any grievances should be directed through that office. In a press release, the Finance Ministry advised the trainees to submit any additional documentation that might support their claims for payment. The ministry stated that once these documents are reviewed and validated, the outstanding payments will be processed. Earlier, the trainees called on government to fulfill its promise by settling their outstanding arrears. In June, the Vice President Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia pledged to pay the trainees 9 months arrears, a commitment that has yet to be honored. This delay has prompted the trainees to demand immediate action. In a statement released on Thursday, June 17, 2024, the coalition of NAPCO trainees expressed their disappointment and frustration over Dr. Bawumia's silence on the issue, highlighting the prolonged wait and the financial strain caused by the unfulfilled promise. The trainees say the escalating tension and agitation among the trainees poses a significant threat to national security, and as witnessed in Kenya, they are therefore calling on Dr. Bawumia to address their concerns promptly, emphasizing that fulfilling his commitment is crucial for their livelihood and trust in his leadership. Well, joining us via Zoom is Eric Nanatechi. He's the PRO of the coalition of NAPCO trainees. We'll speak to him with regard to this particular issue. Thank you very much, Eric, for joining us. Can you help us understand just how bad the situation is for you with your arrears being in 9 months?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. And then let me use this right set of circumstances to send my warm greetings to former workaholic NAPCO beneficiaries who worked so hard and contributed their quota to the development of this country. My brother, as I speak to you, trainees are going through unrelenting anguish. The situation of NABCO beneficiaries is regrettable. It is very pathetic. The letter that we have received from the Ministry of Finance is woefully inadequate, as it suggests a lack of awareness of the long-standing arrears that have characterized the NABCO scheme. When you read the content of the letter from the Ministry of Finance, it tries to create a certain posture that they are not aware of the arrears that have overwhelmed the NABCO scheme, and that is very unfortunate and unacceptable. Again, the delay between the petition's submission and then the responses issuance demonstrates a flagrant disregard for the trainees' concerns, and it exposes the finance ministry apathy towards the grievances of NABCO beneficiaries. We petitioned the finance ministry on 5th February 2024 this year. Then it took 5 months for the finance ministry to respond to our petition. That is very unfortunate, unacceptable, and it demonstrates that the finance ministry does not care about the grievances of NABCO beneficiaries, the severe hardship that we are going through. And again, the letter also exposes the recent promise by His Excellency, the Vice President of the land, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, when he recently made a solemn promise to collaborate with the Finance Ministry to release funds to pay NABCO beneficiaries. When you look at the content of the letter, it indicates clearly that there has not been any engagement with the Finance Ministry by the Vice President, because he made the promise on 2nd June 2024, 1 month ago. And the letter that was issued by the Finance Ministry, we received the letter just yesterday. So that tells you that the promise that His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia made to collaborate with the Finance Ministry, was just something to give false hope to NABCO beneficiaries. There has not been any coordination. There has not been any engagement with the Vice President and then the Finance Ministry. The letter is insubstantial in the sense that the Finance Ministry is aware that we have had number of engagement with the Office of the Presidency. Yes, we are aware the NABCO scheme was established under the leadership of the President. We have petitioned the President, the Office of the President. We have submitted number of petitions, and that didn't yield result. And that's the more reason why we found it imperative to also petition the Finance Ministry. But what the Finance Ministry clearly shows that there is a breakdown of communication between the Finance Ministry and then the Presidency. Why don't they rather forward our petition to the Presidency for them to solicit their order to validate NABCO beneficiaries and then effect payment? And so the letter is inadequate, the letter is insubstantial, the letter does not have any volume.
Right. And moving forward, now that this letter has come, you've been directed to the Presidency to try and go and get your monies. You say the letter is inadequate. It's not what you were expecting. What will you do moving forward? What action are you going to take? Will you now go to the Presidency, or there's an alternative action that you're looking at taking?
Is not, yes. Yes, what we intend now,
Right. Eric, we seem to be having a problem with your connection. We'll try and work on that so that we can speak to you again subsequently on this particular subject matter. But that is the spokesperson for the Nation Builders Corps trainees, those who have worked and they are owed 9 months arrears. They've been directed by the Finance Ministry to go to the Office of the President to go and get their arrears. And they say that that is not adequate. They want their monies paid. The Member of Parliament for the Sisala East constituency, Amidu Isahaku Chinia, is denying any involvement in acquiring state land for personal use. This comes on the back of an expose by the Member of Parliament for North Tong, Samuel Okujeto-Ablakwa, who alleges that some NPP appointees are complicit in acquiring state lands for personal use. Deputy National Communications Officer of the NDC, Malik Basentali, on GH3 accused the Sisala East MP of being a culprit of the said action.
Honorable Chinia was deputy minister. I'll give you all the documents for your perusal, and I'll tell you why he won't escape jail. Honorable Chinia was deputy minister.
But you don't determine.
Don't worry. I'm going to put the bare facts here. Usually we discuss people when they are not on set, right? Today the corporate is on set, so I will discuss it here, and I'll give you every document. Unlike he denied, Honorable Chinia was deputy minister. Yesterday, I heard him ranting on Good Morning Ghana 2 days ago that President Mahama bought this. President Mahama bought that, bought the state land. When he was asked to prove, he failed to do so. But little did he know that he himself has been a culprit so long as the dissipation of state property is concerned. As we speak now, his radio station is on a land in Tumu. That land was a government land. It belonged to the local assembly. His radio station is there. How did he acquire that land? Number 2, close to the stadium in Tumu is government land. As we speak now, he's putting up a filling station there. How did he acquire that land? State land. Yet he sat on TV and was mentioning President Mahama's name as if that was even true. Meanwhile, you have been acquiring state property. The land where you stayed, the property you stayed as deputy minister in Wa, the land just next to it, he's acquired it. How did he get it? State property at a residential area. It's now in his name, Chinia. As if that was not enough, I'm going to teach you proper state capture. His brother went to form a company, and the company is called Bawuriese. If you can correct me, you know the name. Batuawese, very good, he knows it. Batuawese, his brother, direct brother, is also called Chinia, Baka Chinia also. You know the name, what's your brother's name?
You go on.
His driver was also part to form that company. His brother is called Abdel Bazak Chinia. His driver is called Dimbie Yahya, and his direct cousin is called Olatunji Amuda. They formed a company called Batuawese. Came to him as deputy minister, together with his minister at the ministry, and he awarded a contract, a road contract worth 12 million to his own brother. They captured all the projects in Tumu, Sisala, his constituency, and decided to execute it as one family, as if we didn't have contractors in Tumu. What saddened my heart, Sewa, is that after the awarding of contracts to his own brother, which sparks traces of conflict of interest and to a larger extent, massive corruption, they took mobilization and failed to do the work. As we speak today, that road has been abandoned in his own constituency. So I kept saying that, look, if you even want to be wicked to your own constituents, at least if you want to engage in family and friends, if you want to be corrupt in your own society, you should take the contract and execute it.
But the NPP MP has denied any involvement in acquiring any state land illegally. According to him, the state property currently in his name was acquired through proper legal process.
It's not true.
It's not a state land.
It's not a state land.
But you have it. It's in your name.
Yes, it's my.
Whose land is? Who owns it? Who did you buy from?
It was bought by a UDS a lecturer in UDS. And
so you bought it from the lecturer?
Yes, I bought it from it.
And the lecturer bought it from the state?
No, not from the state.
Okay.
The lecturer bought it from the landowners. Okay. It's not state land.
All right.
At all.
Okay. Then now, where your land, your radio station is?
Tumu, the land he refers to are government lands. Where he's talking about the station, the radio station, and the filling station.
They are government lands.
You
bought them.
Yes.
Please, Malik, hold on. Let
Let's go.
And I am saying that
today
it is not a crime.
Okay.
If it is a crime, Malik should let me know.
Well, not all battles are fought in the boxing ring. Some are fought behind the podium with a lot of finesse. And with regard to some of these battles that are being fought, Ghana since the year 2000 has been keen on presidential debates. It is a means to send a message to electorates behind the manifesto. However, after a long pause from the battle of words, calls are becoming rife for another debate. Question is, will the strong opponents have a census or consensus to match each other? Ekobwache has more in the following report.
Since being declared flag bearers of Ghana's biggest rival in political parties, John Dramani Mahama and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia have been taking swipes at each other.
When Vice President Bawumia was saying, our economic management team, we have Professor Jambafo, we have Alan Chiramate, we have Honorable Osafo Mafo, we have Ken Oforiata. What a solid team. What a solid team, Enya.
Muduka Munyi Fatias, Mubasi, say YouTube na. Bahakaba. Malam John.
All this in a bid to sell themselves worthy to the voting public as the next president of Ghana.
I promise to lead the change, and I invite you to be part of the change.
But are Ghanaians liking what's on display? An unstructured discourse with no guide and clear direction and no means to keep proper scores. Let's go back in time, in the year 2000, where the Institute of Economic Affairs hosted all aspirants of the year's election. The well-attended debates debuted with all aspirants save the then Vice President, Professor John Evans Atta Mills, who doubled as the flag bearer of the sitting party, the National Democratic Congress. Professor Mills went on to lose that election and the next, both to the New Patriotic Party's John Ejekum Kufuor. Despite winning the election in 2004, Kufuor had not partaken in the year's debate, throwing a jinx into the myth that could have blamed electoral losses on debate absenteeism. The 2008 presidential debate had no incumbent president on the bill. The aspirants got the opportunity to debate on a somewhat level ground, which preceded Professor Mills's win in that December's poll. The next debate by the Institute of Economic Affairs was held in 2012. With better structures in place, the debate was introduced to moderators who were tasked to ask questions and drive the direction of the event. Interestingly, the two moderators will go on into political careers. Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, a celebrated academic, became the Minister for Education in the next government and subsequently the 2020 and 2024 running mate for the National Democratic Congress. The other moderator, Kojo Oponkroma, who was then a journalist, will go on to become Member of Parliament for Ofuase Ayorebi and Deputy Minister for Information, then Substantive Minister for Information, and subsequently Minister for Works and Housing. The debate saw then incumbent President John Dramani Mahama representing the National Democratic Congress, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Abu Sakara, then representing the Convention's People's Party, and Dr. Hassan Ayariga, then of the People's National Convention. It was thrilling to have a certain president join the aspirants for the debate. This worked against the perception that certain presidents use the debate as a conduit to win the elections and then decide not to engage in further debates.
But to look at the symptom rather than the cure, I think for a person who has such legal training, I think it's a bit misread. I can understand that if we are desperate to win political power, we take any instrument and we use it against our political opponents.
If you are committed to the fight of against corruption, you yourself, of course, must not be corrupt.
But we all are involved in maintaining peace and controlling crimes.
First of all, the issue of decentralization is important to decentralize even the corruption.
In the year 2016, the Institute of Economic Affairs held its town hall presidential debate, which only saw 3 presidential aspirants seated: Dr. Papanko of the PPP, Jacob Osei-Yeboah, an independent candidate, and Dr. Edward Mahama of the PNC. John Mahama, who was incumbent president, and Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo of the opposition MPP failed to show up.
So everybody needs to make a personal stand on corruption. It is no longer acceptable to stand somewhere and say, I'm not corrupt.
The results of that year's election led to Mahama losing to Akufo-Addo. Since then, the debates have been on hold. Both the NPP and the NDC pointed fingers at each other for not wanting to debate. Now, interestingly, calls are loud from none other than the same man who directed John Mahama to go debate the people.
He's running away from a debate. He doesn't want to debate because he knows I will expose the emptiness of his policies.
This is statement the NDC flag bearer spokesperson Joyce Bawa Muktari deems as not a priority but should be targeted at Dr. Bawumia, rather fixing the economy. Meanwhile, Deputy National Communications Officer for the National Democratic Congress, Malik Basintale, says John Mahama has been ready for this since 2020 and has been calling to no avail.
President Mahama called for a debate. His party, together with his boss, Akufo-Addo, they wrote a letter telling us they will not engage in a debate. You remember, Sewa? We are fully ready for any debate.
Question is, will the strongest opponents bid to the call and give Ghana a showdown? This is Echo Watch's report for GHOne TV and Star FM.
The flag bearer of the opposition National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has promised to build a community day senior high school in the Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency if elected as the next president of Ghana. He stated that this initiative aims to expand infrastructure and access to secondary education, addressing challenges faced by the free senior high school policy. The former president made these remarks during a tour of several constituencies in the Greater Accra region.
In this constituency, you have many problems. I think the spokesman for the traditional authorities mentioned one of them, and that you have all the tertiary institutions in this country. You have UPSA, you have my former university, Legon, and Accra Technical University, and all the others. But there's no secondary school in the constituency, unfortunately. And so, like he said, when we come, we'll build a community-based school in this constituency. So that the young people who finish from basic education don't have to travel out and then come back again for tertiary education. You'll be able to attend your own secondary school here and then from there continue into the tertiary schools.
You're still watching Newsroom here on GHOne Television. We'll return to bring you some more stories. Do stay tuned. You're welcome back to Newsroom here on GHOne Television. Now, the state prosecutors have secured conviction for 6 out of 7 persons charged for their involvement in activities of the Western Togoland Restoration Front after the High Court has found them guilty of the charges. The 7 were variously charged with 18 counts, which ranges from attending meetings of a prohibited organization, making contributions to the funds of a prohibited organization, participating in the campaign of a prohibited organization, being a member of a prohibited organization, and possession of arms and ammunition without lawful authority. After 2 years of full trial, the High Court, presided over by Justice Comfort Siame, found 6 out of the 7 guilty. The convicts are Kofi Amemako, Abraham Achu Sewavo, Agbeshi Nyavo, Stanley Gbodo, Courage Aziedu Numavo, Enoch Agbenu, and William Kosi Ahiabenu. EIB Network's legal affairs correspondent Mutala Inusa, who has been sitting through the judgment, is reporting that one of the accused, Maoli Ameziko, has been acquitted and discharged after prosecution failed to prove the charges against him. And Justice Comfort Siame is currently hearing mitigation plea from the defense and prosecution before sentencing. Let's now connect to our legal affairs correspondent Mutala Inusa, who is joining us via Zoom to shed a bit more light on this. Mutala, you've just reported that 6 of these individuals have been found guilty and have been convicted. What more can you tell us?
Well, Lantam, clearly so. The 6 have been convicted because prosecution was able to prove their case beyond reasonable doubt. Now, what is the sentencing by way of before after the lawyers of the convicts made a plea for mitigation was to the effect that, look, they have shown remorse throughout the trial. They have also shown cooperation to the court and the prosecution. In fact, they are young men, and some of them are also older men. All of them are married, and they are dependent. Their families largely depend on them for their survival. So a custodial sentence will impact greatly, or will, as it were, not be good for them. The council also make the point that, look, they have been able to show remorse to the effect that anytime that a case is coming up, they show up in court. Then when they were arrested, they spent so much time also on remand. And so the court should look at that and should not impose on them a custodial sentence. Prosecution, on the other hand, was of the considered view that if you look at the incident that took place in the Volta region, where the people declared that part of the country should be seceded from Ghana, it borders on national security, and so maximum punishment should be imposed to serve as a deterrent and also punitive enough to scare others who must harbor the intention of engaging in same. The court listened to mitigation factors from all the parties and was of the considered view that what the law says is that situations like this, the maximum punishment has to do with both fine and custodial sentence. So a fine of not more than 10,000 penalty units and a custodial sentence of not more than 5 years in prison, and or both. So the court considered the mitigation factor, look at the circumstances of which the accused persons have appeared before the court, and said that it took into consideration all the factors that had been advanced, and the court is of the considered view that the first accused person, I might say, and the third accused person, because of their ages, the court is sentencing them to 500 penalty units. So they are fining them of 500 penalty units. And if you convert the penalty unit into cedis, it means that each of them is paying 5,000 Ghana cedis. In default, the court is saying that they should serve 1 year in custody or 1 year jail term. Now, the remaining 4, the court has sentenced them 1 year each, with in addition to 200 penalty units. The court is saying that all this punishment, all the sentences should run concurrently. So, Lantam, if you come to the High Court now the 6 know their fate. 2 of them will have to pay a fine, will not be going to prison, but the remaining 4 will have to serve 1 year in jail term and pay a fine of 200 penalty units, which is equivalent to 1,200 cedis. So that is what has happened. In relation to one of the accused, the second accused person, like you indicated earlier, the court held the view that prosecution has not been able to prove the charges against him, and so he has been acquitted and discharged.
Very well, Mutala Inusa, thank you for bringing us that update. Mutala Inusa there is our legal affairs correspondent. Now, public health analyst Samuel Arthur has questioned the basis for calls by the Registered Nurses and Midwives Association to scrap the diploma and certificate nursing courses across various health training institutions. The constant calls by the association for the elevation of nurses and midwives to the degree level also has the approval of the Ghana Nurses and Midwives Association and Nursing and Midwives Trainees Association. Even though many health experts have described the move as unnecessary, the Registered Nurses and Midwives Association believes the shift will ensure a more qualified and professional nursing workforce. Here's the Secretary for International Relational Affairs of the Nursing Trainees Association, Lenof Amponsa, speaking to Star News. We apologize for not being able to bring you that sound clip. We'll rectify and play it back for you. But the University of Ghana Medical Center Limited has been indicted in a 2023 Auditor General's report in a 430,000 cedis, 150 Ghana cedi patient waivers and discounts. The UGMC, in line with its comprehensive health information systems in relation to its operations, contracted SPAGAD Technologies to design, develop, implement, and maintain a Health Pro system. The Health Pro system was deployed in 2018 as a comprehensive application and used for services such as registration of patients at the outpatient department, OPD, billings, inventory management, human resource management, and audit. Additionally, it interfaces with hospitals' laboratory systems for archiving medical scans and third-party agency bank on site, which is the Consolidated Bank Ghana. As a standard operational activity by the center, it grants waivers and discounts to private clients under some peculiar circumstances under the discretion of the Chief Executive Officer or any other personality so appointed. Now, in the scheme of things, these waivers or discounts ought to be properly documented and captured in the Health Pro system for auditing purposes and reference. However, the 2023 Auditor General's report has uncovered waiver applications and approval activities for 46 sampled patients amounting to 431,150 Ghana cedis done manually without any audit trail in the Health Pro system. Well, time now to bring you business news on Newsroom. Police Service, in collaboration with the Bank of Ghana, has effectively closed down GHOne investments located in Ungwa and Ashaiman in the Greater Accra region in accordance with Section 22G of the Banks and Specialized Deposit-Taking Institutions Act 2016, Act 930. A statement from the Bank of Ghana revealed that GHOne Investments was engaged in unauthorized deposit-taking contrary to Section 6(1) of the Act 930. The statement also disclosed that the Ghana Police Service is conducting further investigations into the operations of GHOne Investments. All customers of GHOne Investments are urged to remain calm while investigations continue. The central bank assured the general public and all stakeholders that they will be kept informed of the next line of action. And in collaboration with the respective law enforcement agencies, the Bank of Ghana will continue to clamp down on illegal deposit-taking operations, and all offenders will be dealt with in accordance with the law. Well, it's time for us to bring you the sports updates here on Newsroom.
Bukhari. Now let me ask you, what do you do when life gives you lemons? It's a cliche, right? Sure, you make lemonade, but that's often easier said than done. Many people give up when faced with such challenges. My colleague Nana Ama Ajiman tells the inspiring story of Ali Jara, a Ghanaian football legend from the 1990s who faced immense adversity when he became paralyzed. Instead of giving up, Ali picked up the pieces of his life and now trains goalkeepers. He also serves as the technical director of the award-winning national amputee team, the Black Challenge.
They've got an opportunity. Now, Jan is on the right. He'll go for goal with a shot. What a start here. Kevin Prince.
Ghana's football scene is largely dominated by the senior national team, the Black Stars, in terms of support and following. However, the amputee team, the Black Challenge, have embarked on a remarkable mission by excelling in every tournament they participate in. They are winning over the heart of Ghanaians, even challenging the Black Stars' popularity. They credit much of their success to their technical director, Ali Jara.
There are more and more chance to operate, to play, to see them. Shut up! Speed is all.
In the Under-17 national team that won the FIFA Under-17 World Cup in 1991 and placed second in 1993, Ali Jara was adjudged Ghana's most promising player of the 1992-93 football season. That supposedly was the end of his football story. Ali Jara would subsequently have series of body pains that left him paralyzed and dimmed his glittering goalkeeping career. He was broken and depressed about it, but he picked himself up and challenged the national amputee football team to greatness. Challenging himself to a position riddled with challenges, Ali Jara put himself forward to raise the team on higher pedestals on what was obviously an uneasy road.
You will not find disability. Disability will find you. So I take it upon myself. Let them know that they can play to that level. We've been able to convince people from street to teach them how to play football. So see how difficult it is. Some people, when you talk, they don't mind, but due to my need, when you talk to them, they are able to at least listen to whatever.
On June 12th this year, Sports Minister Mustafa Yusuf criticized the Black Challenge for accepting donations from individuals, including ex-President John Dramani Mahama, after winning consecutive AFCON titles.
I've asked the president of the Ghana National Para team. We have seen that you have received a lot of donations, which is good for us. You should account for it because it's for the state, it's not for you. And he has indicated that he will definitely come and account for it. And government will then see what we'll do to complement whatever you have received already.
No gifts don't go far. You know, in our sports, when you pay the participation.
No. Are you saying that? The ministry didn't provide for your JSAs too?
No, we bought our JSAs from Cantonment, my brother.
Wow, you got your JSAs from Cantonment too?
Exactly.
A month later, they are yet to be rewarded by the sports ministry for their achievement. Ali Jara is not pleased at all.
It's sad that convince people from street, persons with disability would sacrifice to bring laurels for Mother Ghana, and after that nobody cares. Whatever I'm doing is a sacrificial job. So when we are able to do something and do it well, at least the nation must compensate people with disability, for them to know that they have fathers, they have people behind them.
However, this does not discourage Ali Jara, who founded the Ali Jara Goalkeeping Academy, where Sami Ejay and Fatah Dawda were nurtured.
By then, we don't have goalkeepers trainers in the country, and the knowledge I had, at least I have to impart it to the younger generation. That's why I was able to create a goalkeepers academy. By then, it was only two Jara Goalkeepers Academy and an academy in South Africa. So we started the training goalkeepers. I have trained over 350 goalkeepers, which has been through this academy.
His proteges recount how Ali Jara's prodigy still works top-notch.
I've been here since infancy, because the time I started keeping, he taught me how to keep. He started showing me how to throw the ball, how to dive this way. So he has been great, doing a great job.
The father, he have created a lot for me. For my personal life, he's very calm. So he always teach me when I go out, I should be calm, I should be disciplined.
Because Ali Jara, me too, I go forward to coach Division 1, 2nd Division, because thank Almighty Allah to support Ali Jara to academy.
When life handed Ali Jara lemons, he turned them into lemonade, crafting a story of triumph and resilience. His journey is far from over, for he holds steadfast to the belief that where there is life, there is hope. For GHOne TV and Star FM, Nana Ama Ajiman.
So now you know the inspiring story of Ali Jara. Let's now head to athletics, where Team Ghana will witness an amazing introduction at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games opening ceremony with the selection of Captain Joseph Paul Amoah and African high jump queen Rose Amoinua Yeboah as Ghana's flag bearers. The duo were selected at the team's morning meeting session earlier today. Now, Joseph Paul Amoah, captain of the team, will be competing in the men's 4x100 relay together with Benjamin Azamati, Isaac Botio and Ibrahim Fusaini, while Rose Amoinua Yeboah, the only Ghanaian female high jumper, will be the first athlete in the history of Ghana to represent the country at this year's Olympics. The Paris 2024 Olympic Games kickstart this July 26, but athletics officially kickstart on August 1, 2024. We apologize for that flashy images out there, but that does it for sports. Do join us at 1 p.m. here on GHOne TV and Star FM. My name is Monica Bukari, but do stay tuned. Lantam will bring you GHOne up next.
Shows the definition of art. Its unconventionality makes it hard to define. But as if that's not enough, the use of unconventional materials to make art leaves patrons thrilled in appreciating the discipline. In the following report, Hassan Awudu finds out how an artist combines climate change awareness with aesthetics by using discarded second-hand clothing in making art.
Art is an expression of ideas and feelings, or the application of human creative skills and imagination. typically in visual forms like paintings, sculptures, and even clothes. But it gets even more intriguing when things out of the ordinary are used in making them, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. Emmanuel Agretieku is a self-taught Ghanaian abstract artist who makes valuable art pieces out of discarded second-hand clothing and textile waste. Tieku collects from spaces like Kantamanto second-hand clothes market and the Pong landfill site. His works upcycles fabric merged with acrylic and oil, weaving a narrative that challenges societal norms and embraces interdisciplinary exploration. Tieku's journey into art began during his civil engineering studies, where he explored the reuse of discarded fabric and textile waste, essentially reflecting themes of consumer culture and sustainability. He believes waste cycle does not end with disposal.
Working with unconventional materials, you're thinking about a society where everything is conventional, everything is structured, right? But unconventional materials come in the sense that you break what is already layered and structured in society. They're going to have the COP29 conference very soon, and all they're talking about is battling climate change and the effects on the entire world, especially on Africans. But then you have Obroniwewu being shipped to Ghana. We receive about 15 million garments every week. People purchase about 30 to 40%. The remainder or the remaining is waste. That presented both a challenge and a solution. I felt I could pick a material that is totally discarded and give it a new life.
Tieku admits art and artists are gradually being appreciated in Ghana, but believes more can be done, especially as the year of return has become profitable to Ghana.
From the government standpoint, talking about public spaces made available for artists to maybe express themselves, exhibit, you don't have those structures in place. So you have the private sector and individual artists setting the pace. You have the year of return being introduced by the government. You find out there is this huge space made available for other genres of art like music. But what you don't see is a single event dedicated to the showcase of art, promoting textile, something that clearly represents the soul of the people, the culture of the people. I feel like more could be done. There are so many creatives like me who are daring to move textile away from a functioning material into a work of art, which is more valuable and also presents the culture of a people to the world. In a way, you are promoting your culture and also selling your craft.
The use of unconventional materials such as waste materials does not only demonstrate creativity and resourcefulness, but also raises awareness about the importance of sustainability and environmental conservation. This serves as a reminder of the limitless possibilities for creativity and ingenuity in arts, and highlights the importance of thinking outside the box when it comes to creating meaningful and impactful works of art. For GHOne News, Alhassan Audu.
Mitigation action to deal with the lingering impact of the IT outage that affected clients and devices. And this comes after widespread reports that American cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike, which produces antivirus software, had issued a software update that caused Windows devices to crash. CrowdStrike has since explained that it is actively working with customers impacted by a defect found in a single content update for Windows hosts. A little over an hour ago, global head of global cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike, George Kurtz, tweeted that the company was tweeted what the company was doing, and his statement followed widespread reports that CrowdStrike, which produced antivirus software, had issued software update that caused all of these devices to be crashing. Well, and that's how we end Newsroom today on GHOne Television. Thank you very much for watching. For more news, log on to starfm.com.gh and take a look at our social media pages, Facebook, X, and Instagram at GHOne TV. My name is Lantam Papanko. Have a good day.